All right, let's talk about two of the most powerful tools out there for anyone who creates things, Git and GitHub. Now, I know they can sound kind of complicated, but stick with me, I promise. In just the next few minutes, you're going to get exactly what they are, and more importantly, how you can start using them.
Oh boy, does this look familiar to you? I bet it does. That frantic, chaotic dance of saving file after file, where each name gets just a little more desperate than the last. We've all been there.
It's such a universal feeling. But the good news is there is an incredibly elegant solution that was designed specifically to end this kind of chaos for good. And we're going to dive right into it.
So this whole mess, this manual, clumsy way of trying to keep track of all our changes, this is the exact problem that a tool called Git was invented to solve. It's all about bringing some serious order to the chaos of creation.
Okay, for just a second, forget about code, forget about all the technical stuff. Just picture this. What if you had a time machine for your work? I mean, the ability to just rewind and go back to any previous version of your project, instantly, without having to save a million different files.
Well, that's exactly what Git is. It's the engine that powers your time machine. It just runs quietly right there on your computer, and every time you get to a good stopping point in your work, you tell it, hey, take a snapshot. And in the world of Git, we call that snapshot a commit. So you've got this amazing time machine on your computer, and it's taking all these perfect snapshots of your work. But what happens if your computer crashes, right? Where are you supposed to keep a safe, secure backup of your entire project's history?
And that's where GitHub comes into the picture. It's a website. It's a service up in the cloud. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a Dropbox or a Google Drive. But it was built from the ground up specifically to store your Git projects and all those amazing snapshots you've been taking.
And this right here, this is probably the single most important thing to get straight. Git is the engine, the tool, running locally on your computer. GitHub is the destination, the website in the cloud where you store everything. They work together as a team, for sure, but they are two separate things. Okay, so we've got our local tool, Git, and we have our home in the cloud, GitHub. So the next logical question is, how do we connect them? How does our work actually get from our computer up into that cloud?
I mean, this is the crucial step, right? Having all those snapshots on your computer is great, but the real power, the real safety, comes when you can back them up and share them with other people. So how do we actually do it?
It turns out the whole workflow is actually a really simple three-step rhythm that you're just going to repeat over and over again. If you can master this stage, commit, push loop, you've pretty much mastered the basics of working with Git all by yourself.
So here's how it works. First, you stage your changes. You can think of this like putting things into a waiting room. You're just picking exactly which files you want to include in your next snapshot. Second, you commit. This is where you actually take the picture. And you always add a short message describing what you changed. And finally, number 3, you push. And that's what uploads your new snapshot to GitHub for safekeeping. Stage, commit, push. That's the loop. Simple as that.
Okay, so that whole loop is perfect when you're working alone. But what happens the second you introduce a team? All of a sudden, the risk of people accidentally overwriting each other's work gets very, very real.
And this is the million-dollar question for any project with more than one person, isn't it? How can a bunch of people all work on the same files at the same time without it all ending in a complete and total disaster? Well, Git has this absolutely brilliant solution called a branch. The best way to think about it is like creating a parallel universe of your project. You can go into this totally separate, alternate reality, and you can experiment, you can make changes, you can even break things. And the main, official version of the project stays completely safe and untouched. So when your experiment in that parallel universe is all done and you're happy with it, you open what's called a pull request, or a PR for short. Now, this isn't just some technical command. It's the start of a conversation. It's your way of saying to the rest of the team, hey everyone, I finished my work over here, could you please take a look? And if you think it's good, let's merge it into the main project. So this little timeline right here tells the whole story of teamwork in Git. You create a branch to get that safe, parallel universe to work in. You make your changes and you commit your snapshots along the way. Then you open a pull request to ask for review. And finally, once everyone agrees, your work gets merged and it officially becomes part of the project's history. It's beautiful. So what we've just walked through, it's not just a technical workflow. It's actually a superpower. It really is. It's the ability to manage complex projects,
travel through time with your files, and work with a whole team without being afraid of things breaking. So let's do a super quick recap of your new toolkit. You clone or pull to get a project and its updates from the cloud. You commit to take a snapshot. You push to upload that snapshot. You branch to work in that safe parallel universe, and you open a pull request to ask to merge your work back into the main project. That's the core of it.
And as you start playing around with all this, please remember the most important rule of all. Don't be afraid to experiment. Seriously. Because you have that time machine, because you're constantly taking snapshots, it is actually very difficult to permanently mess things up or lose your work. The whole system is designed to protect you from yourself.
So, there you have it. You now have the tools to manage pretty much any creative project without the chaos. You can travel through time, you can work with a team without fear, and you can basically undo any mistake. You have a new superpower. The only question left is, what are you going to create with it?